Kano State Government, under the leadership of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, will commence the prosecution of all tax defaulters in 2025 as part of its major reforms in tax administration. This was contained in a statement issued by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Bature Dawakin Tofa, in Kaduna. According to the statement, Dr. Zaid Abubakar, the executive chairman of Kano State Internal Revenue Service, made the disclosure during a presentation to the governor at the ongoing high-level retreat for top government officials. Dr. Zaid Abubakar clarified that the reform is not aimed at increasing taxes, but at improving the efficiency of tax collection and ensuring compliance with tax regulations. The statement further noted that Kano State has projected the generation of over 20 billion naira in the revenue each quarter of 2025. It is worth recalling that Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf relieved the immediate past chairman of the Revenue Service and appointed a new management structure. This decision has significantly improved the agency's performance in the third and fourth quarters of 2024. To ensure effective reforms in revenue generation, the governor will commission a new model for tax collection. This model is expected to substantially increase revenue generation for the 2025 fiscal year, enabling the administration to fulfill its campaign promises across the various critical sectors of development. This is coming from Kano State, and to you, do you feel this is a welcome development that shouldn't just end with Kano State, but should spread across to other states?
Yes, if they've increased their tax projections, and one critical thing from what you've just read is that they have a new template they want to put in place to ensure they get more people, on board, and then to also ensure they get more people to pay taxes and be able to catch defaulters. That's nice. It's very good. It's very good. But you see, and if they do that, like from the news beat you've just read, that from this they are hoping they will get more revenue to enable them fulfill their campaign promises. Yes, it's good. But I don't know if they've really looked at the informal sector.
Informal sector?
Yes. I don't know if they've really looked at the informal sector. And like they said, that they have their plans in place. So maybe those are some of the things they are going to do. Because I don't know how you're going to tax people you cannot identify.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know how you're going to tax people you cannot identify. Unless maybe their dragnet is only on the corporate bodies. Maybe they are looking at just the corporate bodies alone. And established businesses alone. Maybe that's all they are just looking at. But it will also be very good now that they are talking tax and tax regime and all of the strategy. Kano State should also look at, like we're discussing before the show, and I was telling you what the African Growth Nexus Consult, one of the things we do and what we believe in. One of the things they should also do, because I think Kano is part of the people we're going to be meeting with soon.
Okay.
Yes, because this formalization of the informal sector, we have a program called RAPA.
Okay.
Yes, so that when the informal sector is not accounted for, even though taxation starts from a certain threshold, but of course there are a lot of people within the informal sector that are not being taxed.
Would you throw more light on the informal sector for our audience so we get to understand?
Yeah, when we talk of the informal sector, there are people who own very large farms.
Okay.
They are not registered, they are not accounted for, and they make a lot of money. You might think, it's just a subsistence farm. But the man has hectares of pineapple farm. He rakes in hundreds of millions annually. There are people who have cattle. They have cattle farms.
Okay.
Worth 500 million. They make over 300, 500 million annually.
Okay.
And they are not taxed because there is no record of them anywhere. Okay, so yes, if the state government, like what Kano State has done, of course I know a lot of states, River State, I'm sure River State, their projection is more than this.
Okay,
yeah, but if all the states will put this in, and it's much in, because this formalization I'm talking about is much in line with what Senator Ned Nwoko was, the bill he's pushing for recently. You know, so if they find a way to formalize the informal sector such that there's record, or every taxable adult is identified. Right? Yes. Every taxable adult is identified, and then it also becomes easy not just to tax them. So that you can also have other key performance index for the state. You can now plan for how to also reach out to these people effectively and efficiently. Because one of the problems we have in this country is record. Record. And because we don't have this record, it's difficult to plan, it's difficult to reach out, it's difficult to do so many things. If we had proper records, these people that died during the stampede, they wouldn't have died. Why? Because if you want to do arms, you want to do charity, there should be an organization or agency where you just go and give this. I want to give this number of rice to this amount of indigent people. You just put it there, and that ministry handles it. I know corruption. People will say when you give it to this ministry, the wives of the officers will carry it, just like it was reported with the Nigerian customs that rice seized that Buhari, the former president, said they should give out to poor people, that the rice ended up in the shops of wives of custom officers. Allegedly, so they said. You know, it was in the news. All right, allegedly, yes. So, but you know, for everything that is subject to abuse, there are still measures you put in place. All right. So, this is a laudable step for the Kano State government. Is a good one. Yeah, but I think that if they just add. If the government will support the tax office by finding a way to document and formalize the informal sector, it will make it a lot more easier for them to achieve their purpose. Yes, it will make it a lot more easier for them to achieve their purpose. Tax is not easy. Tax drive is not easy. It's always very easy for us to make declarations, make statements, you know, based on what we copy from different places. You just think you can just go somewhere, copy one template and just come and implement it. But you know, we are a unique people. We are unique people, and the way our system is structured, we do not have, the records are not there per se, you know. So I think for them to really succeed in this, apart from taxing the companies, the banks, and you know, every other people they want to tax, they need proper record of taxable adults. And that means that if they will adopt this formalization of the informal sector project, and they do it, and you get proper record of every taxable adult, it becomes a lot easier. Of course, when you do that with the incentives that goes with it, people will willingly pay tax. Incentives?
Yes. Do you mind throwing light on what incentives like?
Yes, there are incentives that goes with being formalized. I mean, when government knows that you exist. Part of the incentive is if government wants to give grants or loan to your sector, it becomes easy to access. If there is health benefit, maybe health insurance, it becomes easy to make those things accessible to those people. Because right now, the health insurance that exists in Nigeria is only for civil servants. If you're not working in the formalized sector, you're not a part of it. Basically, every Nigerian that is not functioning in the formalized sector is a ghost. That's what it is. So if they can find a way to formalize the informal sector, if they can adopt that program, you know, then it becomes a lot easy, not just for tax purposes alone, but for development.